Yo, what's going on, ladies and gents? My name is Arbuckle. Welcome back to another video. Today we are once again back on Black Ops 4, and I wanted to talk to you guys about reducing recoil and share with you guys a few things that you can do to actually control that recoil so that you can win more gunfights and overall just become a better player. I know some of the weapons in Black Ops 4, especially some of those SMGs, have some extreme recoil and can get really frustrating at times. So hopefully I'll be able to help some of you guys out with some of these tips. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was actually playing on a lower sensitivity. Players that tend to play on higher sensitivities are going to struggle more with recoil just because of how sensitive their thumbsticks are. So, you know, when you're trying to deal with a gun that has ridiculous recoil, if you're playing on 10 sensitivity and you barely, you know, move that thumbstick trying to control the recoil, then you're going to aim much lower and throw off your aim. So one thing that you can do to actually improve your aim is to play on a lower sensitivity, and it's something that's going to help counter that recoil. The second thing is you want to memorize the recoil patterns for the guns that you use most often. So if you guys know, I mean, you look at the guns that you use, and generally you get used to it and you don't really pay attention to it, but if you actually take the time to focus and realize where the gun is going, you'll actually see which direction the gun is going to go every single time you shoot it. A lot of the guns, you know, they'll go up and to the right when you start shooting. Most of the recoil patterns are up and to the right, some are down to the left, some are down to the right. You really just want to memorize what pattern of recoil, like the recoil patterns for each gun that you use the most, right? So like there's an assault rifle that I use more than all the other assault rifles. There's an SMG that I use more than all the other SMGs. And when I use them, I notice where the recoil goes, like which way my gun is going to move, and I try to get used to that, and I try countering that. So what you can do is, if your gun is going to move up and to the right, you can start shooting lower, like lower down to the left of the guy that you're trying to kill, right? So like if I know the gun's going to jump to the right, I'm going to start shooting low and to the left so that I can counter that recoil, make sure I'm hitting more shots, and in the end, win more gunfights. So memorize the recoil patterns for each gun that you use more than the others, and it should help you out. Third tip is to burst fire instead of holding down the trigger. This has been a tip for a very long time and is something that's actually extremely effective, especially with assault rifles and definitely with SMGs from long range. So if you get in one of those situations where someone's really far away, maybe you have an SMG, maybe you do have an assault rifle and you just can't hit them, your gun's jumping around too much. If you burst fire, it's going to make a lot less recoil, your gun's not going to move as much, and you'll be able to kill them much easier and much quicker. A lot of people think that they're wasting time when they're burst firing, right? Like they're not shooting as many bullets as they could be if they were just holding down the trigger. But that's not necessarily true, because when you're holding down the trigger, you know, a lot of those bullets are jumping and going off in different directions because of recoil, obviously. But when you burst fire, your gun is going to stay straight the entire time. So you're going to hit more shots than you would if you were just holding down the trigger and hoping that every few shots is going to come back and land. So make sure that you're burst firing, especially with assault rifles from long distance, and definitely with some machine guns from long distance. I don't really understand how people are able to kill people with SMGs from across the map by holding down the trigger. So burst fire over automatic all the time. It works, and it'll change your game drastically. The fourth tip that I have for you guys is to use the grip and the grip 2 attachments as well as the long barrel attachments. This one is a fairly obvious one, but I feel like it's important because a lot of people don't use these and still complain about it. What's cool is now that they actually have grip 2. I think that's dope how they've added 2 different variants or an extra variant to attachments now, right? So there's a grip 1 and then there's grip 2, which is even better. So I think that's kind of cool that they've done that with some of the attachments in Black Ops 4. But using the grip attachments are going to make your aim so much better and are really going to eliminate recoil, especially if you have both grips on. You'll notice a huge difference as soon as you throw those on. Also use long barrel. The long barrel is great with the SMGs. Well, for the SMGs that actually have it, I know they all don't have the same attachments, but if you have a gun and you have long barrel and you're getting in a lot of medium to long range gunfights, long barrel is going to be the way to go, and it's going to help you out tremendously. But anyway, guys, that's it for today's video. I just wanted to talk to you guys about reducing recoil and share with you guys some things that you can do to counter it. If you guys have any questions, make sure to leave them down in the comment section below. I'll be sure to try and help some of you guys out. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see all you guys in the next video. Can we be friends?